We're here at the Bitdefender booth at Citrix Synergy 2017. Can you tell us a little bit about Bitdefender and what you're showing here at Citrix Synergy?
Absolutely. I am Harish Agastya. I'm VP of Enterprise Solutions at Bitdefender. Bitdefender is a security solution vendor. We are a company, one of the fastest growing companies in the endpoint and data center security domain. We protect over 500 million active endpoints worldwide. We are headquartered in Romania with our enterprise business headquarters in Santa Clara, California. We're here at Citrix Synergy to talk about our new product we have just announced in general availability here at Citrix Synergy 2017. It's called Bitdefender Hypervisor Introspection. It builds on top of some data center security innovation that the company has driven over the last 4 or 5 years. Today, Bitdefender's security for virtualized environments is the only solution in the market that secures Citrix environments as well as any other hypervisor environments in the market, including VMware, Hyper-V, KVM, etc. We have a security solution that is built to perform in these data center environments. We use an architecture that leverages a dedicated security virtual appliance that offloads all security operations onto that virtual appliance, allowing you to do in your workload, your VMs, the things that those VMs were designed to do, run operational workloads, whatever those VMs were designed to do, and leave the security processing, the heavy resource intensive processing to happen via a dedicated security virtual appliance. So that's the model. It results in the industry leading performance, much higher consolidation ratios, VM densities than any other solution in the market. That's the strength of what we bring to the data center. Now that operational efficiency and ROI story is something we've built on top of in terms of our virtualization security innovation with the launch of Bitdefender Hypervisor Introspection. It's a product that's designed to address a very, very grave problem facing the industry today in terms of advanced persistent threats. Many organizations have been breached. We hear about them when we see them. When you open the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal, you know, no company wants to end up in the front pages of the Wall Street Journal because they've had a breach. On average, companies face breaches and they don't even know that's happened for 200 days. That's the industry average. How long something like this has been sitting in your organization and confidential data has been exfiltrating from your data center out to the big bad guys, and they sell that and make a lot of money, right? So no one wants to see that happen. How do you as an organization keep your data where it resides within the data center and prevent these breaches from happening? That's what hypervisor introspection is all about. We see that whatever the type of attack, and there are so many of these advanced persistent threats that organizations face, all those millions of different attack vectors all come down to a few common attack techniques. Buffer overflow is one example of that. It could be a heap spray. There are many common attack techniques. They all result in one thing: they modify memory. When they modify memory, organizations are faced with one big challenge in being able to detect that memory modification. You try to if you're on the network, you don't have context into what's happening within the VM. However, if you are within the VM, you now have context, but you don't have isolation, because the type of attacks we're talking about are operating at root level, the same level of privilege that the endpoint security solution has as well. In order to fundamentally change this context versus isolation dilemma, you need to go below the VM. You have to go to the hypervisor level and be able to see the state of the VM from the outside. That is hypervisor introspection. It is a solution that has been jointly built by Bitdefender, working with our key partners Citrix and other players in the market like the Linux Foundation. We've baked into the hypervisor the OpenZen project, which is also Zen Server, the hypervisor that Citrix has made available, a set of APIs. Citrix calls it the Direct Inspect APIs. Bitdefender came out with a product that leverages those APIs. Bitdefender Hypervisor Introspection uses those APIs to see, without having any footprint within the VM, the memory state of that virtual machine. We look for those attack techniques which modify memory, and we can take action. We can block any attempts by very advanced attacks to modify memory and get a foothold into the VM before any breach can happen, before any data exfiltration can happen. That is the story of Bitdefender Hypervisor Introspection. It's been in the market in controlled availability phase since Citrix Summit in January when it first came out. At Citrix Synergy today, we are now in general availability mode. Any organization that wants to be safe from these type of attacks can leverage Bitdefender Hypervisor Introspection.
Great. Is it possible for us to see a demo of the product?
Absolutely. Let's walk over to my office.
Great. Great. So what are you going to show us?
I'm going to be talking to you about the attack that the world just faced last weekend, named WannaCry. Over 200,000 devices worldwide were affected by it. Many tens of thousands of organizations hit by it. This is the biggest ransomware attack that the world has just seen. And it was based on a specific vulnerability exploit called Eternal Blue. So the demo I'm going to show to you demonstrates how Hypervisor Introspection from Bitdefender is able to safeguard organizations from WannaCry without, and that happened before WannaCry even happened, because we protect against the original exploit that WannaCry was based on, which is called Eternal Blue. So if you can check out the demo that we are going to show to you, you'll see here that this scenario is going to compare two different servers. We're going to look at two different Windows 2008 machines, one of which has protection from Bitdefender on it and the other that doesn't. First, we're going to look at a system that doesn't have protection, unmanaged system, and then the second one we'll show you is running Bitdefender Hypervisor Introspection. We're now looking at the attacker system. The attacker is using Metasploit to be able to get a backdoor using the Eternal Blue exploit. I'll just pause right there. You'll see up towards the middle of that of the attacker screen that he's running a script that says use Eternal Blue, and he's using he's using that particular vulnerability in the Windows 2008 system to exploit and get a backdoor into that particular Windows machine. He keeps trying, he or she, a few times, and then what happens is eventually he's able to do a buffer overflow attempt very successfully into a part of memory, and now he has complete access into that particular victim machine. He can do anything he wants to be in terms of, he can kill processes, he can kill the security solution, he can exfiltrate any data he wants from that particular system. He can laterally migrate from this server onto any other server within the network. This is gold in terms of the attacker right now. Now we'll talk about how this particular attack could have been mitigated and WannaCry protected against in the case of a server which is protected by Hypervisor Introspection. Same exact scenario, the attacker is now running Metasploit, running the Eternal Blue script just like he did the last time. You see that happen now, and you'll see because this is using buffer overflow and we're monitoring the system from the outside, we can detect the memory modification attempt. A violation is created and the attack, Hypervisor Introspection steps in and the backdoor is not installed. The system is protected and Eternal Blue fails. There is no ransomware WannaCry that the attacker will be able to inject into that particular VM. So this is how you do it. If you are looking to protect yourself against the next big zero-day attack, and you don't even know what type of attack that is, you go back to the original exploit, right? All these exploits, and we don't know what the next exploit is going to be, but we know they all leverage a certain set of common attack techniques. They all modify memory. We can watch memory from the outside without having any footprint in the system, and we can come in and block that. Now, if you're a customer that's not running Citrix today, and you want to be able to protect yourself from all of your physical desktops or virtual desktops from attacks like this, all you need is to leverage Citrix Zen app, Zen desktop. You need one server in the back office in your data center that is from where you're streaming a published browser over to all of your virtual desktops or physical desktops running a window, an virtual application of Citrix Zen app, and now you're basically, we just stream the browser over, and that backend browser running Zen app can be protected by Bitdefender Hypervisor Introspection, and you can secure yourself against these types of attacks.
Well, thanks for taking the time to speak with VMblog.
Thank you so much. Thank you for watching.